5:35 in the afternoon. Yes, we will. Hey, Coach, I'm letting you know right now, Coach. Fricky and you together again. It's a reunion. It is a reunion. Get ready, Coach. All right, it's 5:35 in the afternoon. Scott and BR on the Mighty 1090.
Why did you tell him?
Let's start with Coach Fisher, and then we'll get to Coach Quintera. Coach Fisher is on the line. Oh, we found him, Coach. We found him. We found him. But let's talk to Steve Fisher because tomorrow is senior night at San Diego State. Coach Fisher, good afternoon.
Gentlemen, how we doing?
Coach, we are fantastic. Yourself?
I'm doing quite well. I was in and out of places, but I caught your reminiscent down memory lane over the last 10 years. Very nice.
You know, Coach, I got to tell you, we were talking with Darren Smith about this earlier. We think you're the only sports figure in San Diego that has outlasted or I should say preceded and outlasted the Mighty 1090. I mean, every other coach has come and gone. Every other team executive has come and gone. Athletic directors. I mean, how many athletic directors have been at San Diego State in the last 10 years, Coach?
More than one, I promise you that.
Right. So we said Steve Fisher's the only guy in town that preceded and outlasted the Mighty 1090, or at least preceded and maybe will outlast. Coach,
BR kind of helped me along as we did our first gig together out at Montezuma Mesa, where he was hosting a lot of stuff that we were on. So he helped me get the lay of the land.
Fond memories, Coach. I'm telling you, that was one thing I look back on with great pride.
Me too.
Coach, let me start off before we even get started here. I told Billy Ray the story of you coming out to the Del Mar Little League opening day, and I don't mean to, embarrass you because now the whole world's going to call you to come out and do these kinds of things. Coach, I cannot thank you enough. You were so amazing. The people are still buzzing about what you said to the kids because it was such an amazing message that, everybody wants to be a pro baseball player or a pro basketball player, but it's not reality for 99.999%. But why not you? Why can't you be that guy? And that I'm getting chills when I think about what you said that day. So thank you so much. What an amazing message.
I can't believe you listened. I can't believe that you listened to the message that I was delivering. I told Mike May, Scott, how impressed I was. I came about 10 minutes earlier than what they said to come, and you were standing on the street had a place to park. And they moved everything up to accommodate me because we had an early practice. And the organization and the way the kids was sensational. I talked to our team about it. And I said, you should have seen the emotion and energy that the T-ballers had. And then when they got to the oldest group, the 13-year-olds, they were too cool to jump up and down and scream and to get a ticket to the snack shop. But I said, if you want to have fun, if it's forced fun, it's not going to work for you, whether you're playing Little League Baseball or whether you're playing San Diego State basketball.
That's right.
Well, and how did they react, Coach?
Pardon me?
How did they react? How did your team, after you told them about this, how did they react?
Well, I think they listened. I think they heard. Probably two or three of them could tell you what I said that day.
Well, that would make two or three of them and one of us, and we're starting to take in what you're saying, Coach.
Absolutely.
Well, Coach,
I enjoyed it, though, Scott. I really did.
Well,
brought back fond memories.
Yeah, and I
played, and then when my kids played.
And I could tell you enjoyed it because after you spoke, the league president took the mic back, and he was just about to hand Coach Fisher the ball to throw at the first pitch, which, by the way, congratulations, a perfect strike. Coach Fisher actually grabbed the mic back for a second to just say, hey, real quick, I want to tell you one last thing. And I knew you were having a good time, so it was really terrific. Thank you so much, Coach Fisher.
You're very welcome. I had fun.
Coach, I want to ask you about senior night, and I just wonder, this year, I mean, Chase Tapley, I know James and Deshaun, but those two guys transferred in. Chase Tapley, a 4-year kid with you. We've all gotten to see this kid grow up from the time he was a freshman. What do you, as we're talking about memories tonight, right, what do you think about going into tomorrow's game? Is it an emotional thing for you?
It will be to some degree. I vividly remember recruiting Chase, and he broke his leg when he was in high school. We were one of the few that were there. We're there calling, how you doing, and stayed true through it, never wavered in our commitment to him. And I think he appreciated that, and he's been that way with us for 4 years. A 4-year starter, broke his hand his freshman year, and his dad said, he's okay, he'll spit on it, and he'll be able to play when it comes. And where he was the fifth option, where now he's option 1A in the program, and he's improved every part of his game. But maybe more importantly, has grown so much mentally and with his maturity off the court. He's on track to graduate, and he's very, very proud of the career that he's had, as we are for him of the career he's had.
Yeah, and we were talking to James Rahan yesterday. We're talking to Coach Steve Fisher right now, but we were talking to James, and he said that being recruited out of high school by San Diego State, he loved everything about it, but he wanted to be that kid who got away. And when he went to Santa Clara, he was unhappy, even though he played, and he played in a lot of games, got a lot of starts, and he was just so happy to be able to come home and play in front of his family and his friends, and to play for you, and to be part of the greatness of the era. And I thought that was kind of an interesting thing that Rahan was talking about yesterday, because it really has been an interesting era of San Diego State basketball, Coach.
I think so. And we also are very proud of what's happened over the past few years. And James also has been an integral part of that. He's been in the program for 4 years, even though he had this red shirt that second year, and this is his third year playing. And of all the players I've recruited, I don't think I've ever had a more supportive, positive parent in James's mom and dad. And sometimes when you're local, that can be a problem and a distraction, but they have been absolutely phenomenal. They have 4 kids, a daughter that played soccer at DePaul, another daughter that's at Oregon, and Joe, the freshman brother, just made the winning 3-point basket Sunday against Virginia. He's a terrific player in his own right.
Yeah, and he was.
And we got James, so we're very proud to have him too.
Did you guys go after the brother? We've never talked about this.
I'm sorry?
Did you guys go after the little brother that's at Boston College?
We did. I think kind of like James. He felt like he'd like to venture away from home, and obviously chose a great school in Boston College, and is starting for them as a freshman, doing a wonderful job.
Oh, that's really cool. So, Coach, tomorrow night, Air Force, and with all the emotion of senior night, there's still a really important game to be played. Is this one of those games where it's hard to focus these guys, or is it easy because it is, for many of them, their last home game at Viejas Arena?
We've had good practices, and I'm a firm believer if you practice well, you'll have a better opportunity to play well. We've been in tune to everything we've done. We've worked hard. We've been alert mentally. So I think we'll play well. There may be a little bit of early game trying too hard, but I think that'll go away fairly quickly if it is there. But it is. It's a very important game. They beat us at their place, 70-67. Without Xavier Thames, we had a shot at the buzzer to tie and couldn't get it. So big game for both teams.
And what do you have to change about the way you play against Air Force this time to be able to come out on top?
They were 10 for 18 from three-point range in the first half. I believe they had 13, 14, 15 threes for the game. They can shoot the three. They're hard to guard the way they play. So we got to do a better job of that. We've got to guard them better. I think we'll score points. They're not the Air Force of old where it's going to be a game in the 40s. They run now. But we've got to do a good job on how we defend them. I think that's a key point for us.
Yeah, and you guys were 2 for 19.
We were 2 for 19, yeah. Exactly.
Mm.
Yeah, those stats.
That's
I mean,
tough.
Even you just look back the last couple of games. You look back to that New Mexico game, and I don't have the stats sitting in front of me, but I want to say like 4 for 24 from 3-point range.
I think you're just about right there.
Yeah,
exactly. We've been inconsistent with our perimeter shooting, and obviously we were against Air Force, and we were last Wednesday against New Mexico.
Well, it's going to be a great night tomorrow night, an emotional night, a late start, 8:30 is tip, as I recall. Is that right, Coach?
It is 8:30, and what I would ask you, I'm glad I have the forum right now. If you are listening now and you have tickets, and for whatever reason you may have a young family, you can't go, don't let those seats go empty. Give them to a friend or a neighbor. We need especially for the seniors, the program. We need that building rocking with a full house, and so yeah, I'm hoping if you have a ticket, you'll be there. But if not, don't let it go to seed. Get somebody in that building in your place.
Yeah, 8:30 tomorrow night is tip, and I know it's a late night for us, but we're gonna. I still want to come out. I don't care. I'll grab a nap in the middle of the afternoon the next day. I feel like I can't not be there to see Chase Tapley be introduced, get I'm sure a framed jersey, and to feel the love from the crowd, and then to see these guys hopefully go out with their final game at Viejas Arena with a victory. I think we all need to be there and show those kids the love and the appreciation for what they've done. Coach, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow night.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on and spreading the word about the Aztecs.
You got it, Coach. Always. Thank you. 5:46 in the afternoon. We'll wrap things up. Fricky and